Hello everyone, this is John Ward with the Appalachian Channel, and welcome back to another cooking video here at the Appalachian Channel Kitchen. And we have Ann Baker from Rogersville, and she is going to cook a lot of different things for us. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to cook today.
Today my special is going to be homemade yeast rolls. I'm going to do a potato salad that's requested of me every time I go somewhere. Homemade coleslaw with homemade dressing. I've made cornbread. I've got green beans that I've canned as well that we're going to make.
Sounds exciting. I can't wait. So guys, get you a cup of coffee, sit down, get you a notepad so you can take some notes, and let's watch Ann cook up some dinner here.
This is my homemade yeast dough, and this is a recipe that I kindly made up myself. I took recipes from different doughs, and I decided to come up with my own, which I'm sure a lot of people has this. So what goes in this is 4 cups of all-purpose flour. I use 1 tablespoon, and my mother always says do a heaping tablespoon of yeast. I do, with the yeast I let it bloom, so I have yeast, and then I have 1 tablespoon of sugar in that yeast, and you can do about a half a cup of water in that to let it bloom. And you'll know that it's fermenting because it'll start bubbling up, so you can keep it about 5 to 10 minutes. I would have went ahead and set it up today, but on account of time consumption, I went ahead and fixed it up because I knew an hour and a half it would rise coming over here. So that would be our first rise. This is my mother's bowl, and my mother was well known to be a cook. She was very famous for her cooking. Unfortunately, she really didn't teach her daughters how to cook. She was too busy. She wanted to get her cooking done and get it done and get her dishes clean, and that was it. So I've had to do this on my own and had to learn it. So I don't roll my dough out anymore and take and cut it out like a biscuit. Through watching several different people, I did learn that the only thing I have to do is take my dough up. Let me get just a little bit more. And I just roll my dough around like this. And as I roll it around, I just do this. Now these are not going to be perfect dough rolls like this, but you don't want them perfect because this is homemade and everybody's got their own. But it's much easier, it's less messy by doing it like this. And I do this so. And then once this is done, we're going to let it rise outside, and I'll let it rise probably with the heat today, probably take about 30 to 40 minutes, and then I will bake this at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. So this is my first thing I want to really get done so we can I think I forgot to tell you that I was making chicken strips to go with the potato salad and the green beans. These are too good if you don't eat them all at one time. These are very good to sit and roll them up. Heat them up, put some butter in them, and eat them with jam. They're very good like that. Their own technique, how they like to do it, how it makes it easy on them. Especially if you've got a family and you've got a ball and cheerleading and you've got house to clean, especially a working mom. So you kindly learn. So this is what we'll do for this, and then we will cover this up, and I'm going to set this out in the garage. Okay, the next thing we're going to make is coleslaw. This is the cabbage that I buy, the slaw mix, and I get it from Walmart. And it's the best that I've found, that when you open the bag, it don't have that, like there's another odor in there. And this is easier for just my husband and I, because basically I can make 2 meals out of this coleslaw. I can either take half of it, make coleslaw, and take the other half, and I may make fried cabbage with it. So if you've got a food processor, you can always like to chop my cabbage up. It's just something about chopped cabbage that I like instead of the cabbage like this, which doesn't, if you got a processor, it doesn't take you 30 seconds. I love coleslaw, but I like it made a certain way. I like the sweet coleslaw. And I can remember when growing up, my mama would make the coleslaw, and you could take and just a piece of cornbread, because you'd get the juice. Once the coleslaw marinated, you could get the juice off the coleslaw and just pour it over your cornbread, and that was a meal within itself. And that really brings back good memories to me, because I really, really loved my grandma. I stayed with her a lot so she wouldn't have to stay by herself at night. And my grandma was the type of person, I don't know, a lot of you know what I'm talking about, is the pone biscuits. And she would make pone biscuits, and it would be one whole piece of bread, you know. And she'd say, well, I only ate one piece, but she didn't tell you she made the pone, you know. And so, but that's good memory. She was a good Christian lady.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Norton, Virginia.
Oh, okay. I know.
And, yeah, I grew up there when Westmoreland shut down. My husband had enough time in for retirement and insurance. And we always went down Rogersville to fish at Cherokee.
Okay.
So that's how we got to Rogersville, was fishing. He liked the largemouth bass fish.
We've made some videos in Appalachia.
Uh-huh. We've seen that.
That's close to Norton.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
made a few videos back about 4 years ago on Norton also.
Okay, so what I do, put in my coleslaw, I put 1/4 cup of sugar. And if you've got time, it's good to let this set about 30 minutes, and that helps to draw some of the fluid out. If you don't, then it can still work like this. Now, salt is everybody's preference. Some people cannot have salt, some people can. Believe it or not, some people has low sodium, they have to have salt. So this time of summer, especially if they're men outside working, they probably have to take salt tablets. And usually I'll put about a cup and a half. I just kindly look at it, and when I do that, I kindly do that. Get it, make me like a little end in it. This is vinegar, but I only use about a teaspoon of vinegar, teaspoon and a half of vinegar to go with it. And this, actually, I learned this recipe. I used to work within the jail system, and I was a jail nurse. And there was an inmate there that did cooking, and I made the coleslaw. I ate the coleslaw one day, and I said, "Oh, that tastes like my grandma's." And I said, "Who made this?" And they told me who, and we were talking, and I said, "Girl, you've missed your calling. You need to go into the restaurant business, because anytime you've got a felony against you, it's hard for anybody to hire you." So a lot of times people will pick up cooking, which they make excellent cooks. So don't ever stop trying, keep trying. And I like to usually, if I know I'm going to have coleslaw for the day, I'll either make it the night before or that morning. But only problem with coleslaw, it doesn't last that long. So usually it's a 2-day process, then I throw it away. And you just mix it up, and I just let it sit. Okay. Okay, right now I have to get the potatoes peeled. These are actually baking potatoes, but I like baking potatoes. You can actually take one potato and make you French fries with them. My granddaughters love French fries, so I have to make French fries. I bought me a big French fry maker. Unfortunately, it takes about 2.5 gallons of oil. I mean, 2.5 big cartons of the oil.
Too big for small cooks.
Yeah. I said, woo. And if you don't put it in, then it won't work right. So.
Now, don't they make a potato peeler type?
They do.
Device?
Yes, yes.
So maybe I need one of those too.
Yes. And you can use it for a vegetable peeler. I know they have that too. I have bought some in the stores and it didn't seem like they've lasted long at all. But I've had my Rada products for years.
How old was you when you first started cooking, just as a teenager?
I think most of back then we had the little, I think it was the Pillsbury cookbook, or Better Homes is what it was. And I'd make cookies and I would make donuts. And at that time I had a little brother. She had us raised, mother didn't, turned around and had a little brother. And my friend would say, I'll babysit him if you'll make them donuts for us today. So I did a lot of donuts. I still do donuts. I think donuts is one of my favorite desserts. Donuts and cinnamon buns. But to actually start cooking and making food is when I got married. And then, you know, that even though you worked, it was still expected for the woman to come home and do the supper. And so you just, as a mother who had kids in sports, you just had to, you learned to adjust to everything. And oops, almost cut myself. The more you cook, the more you learn. When I first started cooking gravy and biscuits, if you ever watched the Hillbillies and Ellie Mae Clampett's biscuits, hard as a rock, that was me. I even was so good at it, I burnt gravy. So that's a big now. My grandbabies will come and they'll say one thing, Mama, will you make us gravy and biscuits for in the morning? So I've come a long ways with that. Let's see if we can do this. I don't know. Now, what I try to do is just slice them. Some people like their potato salad mashed up like mashed potatoes. I don't. I like mine cubed. And that's what we're going to do today.
So we were talking about you wanting to start your own cooking channel and cook and do things yourself. So you'll tell them a little bit about your vision of doing that.
Since I've retired from nursing, I just feel that like God, there's something out there God wants me to do, that I can be hopefully a light for somebody. You know, there's many times that you can be down in the dumps and you can turn a cooking show on, and time you get through watching, you're happy as the Lord. We all have issues, we all have problems, we all have troubles. But sometimes it's just, it's good just to watch cooking shows and get away from what's really causing you some issues. And in this day and time with what's on TV, I don't watch a lot of TV. Most of mine, I watch sports channels because I like sports. I'm a big sports person, but I like to watch cooking. You never know what you can learn, and I will learn something every day. And I learned something a lot from these home cooks, because they're like me, they cook from home. They're not fancy, and they just my daddy's parents was from Hungary, and so, but she didn't teach us either. She could really cook. But as far as I know, my grandma Leho, she never at once made cornbread. It was always homemade bread, always. But I've learned to make some Hungarian foods, which I really like. And I bought some cookbooks from Hungarian and try to make. And she always cooked with paprika, always. And so some of the cooking shows I see in Hungary, they had that paprika out too.
You watch those on YouTube or TV?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, I watch them on YouTube. I just put, you know, whatever you're going to put. I may pull in Hungarian recipes, something like that, to do it.
Do you have any particular time of the day that you usually watch YouTube?
Well, usually in the evenings, really. It's after I get what I need to do in the house for that day and get my cooking done for that day. Then I'll go and watch my YouTube shows and see. And you can cube your potatoes how small you want them or how big you want them. I probably could have done just 2 because I don't think my pot's going to be big enough. So we'll just put in what we need, what we can. Let me try. I'm going to let you keep this with you.
Okay.
That you can have that.
Well, thank you.
For this to turn out right, I may not use all these potatoes. One thing too is rinse your potatoes very well and get the starch off of them. I like to do a lot of rinsing. When my mother passed away, my sister called me and she was at Mom's house, and she told me, she said, you want her bowl, because I make the bread, and I said, yeah, I want it. And I've got my Mama's biscuit bowl too, to make biscuits with. So, you know, it can be a comforting thing. My mother was not one to give you all the recipes. She might leave something out. And my cousin, she went over there one day and she followed her around and she had her notebook, because I think it was Thanksgiving dinner or something. And she followed her around to make sure she got everything down. And she might have forgot, but when you go down later, you say, you know, I read where you can put this in or put that in. She said, oh yeah, I put that in mine too. When I put my potatoes on the stove, I go ahead and put me some salt in it. And like I said, your salt preference is what you can and cannot eat. So we'll get these to boiling, and hopefully they'll be done in about 15 minutes. I'm not for sure if this pot will take all these potatoes. I may have to take some of them out. But anyway, we'll do that. And then when we get through with that, we'll get it done. My next thing is these are my canned green beans. And we don't grow green beans now because we live in a subdivision, but I still can them. I buy them off of a produce place usually. Man's Produce is usually where I get mine over in Fort Blackamore, Virginia. So it doesn't take that long to can them. The process is stringing and breaking the beans up. That's what gets you. But as far as doing the beans, once you put them in the pressure canner, you can let them go and do it. I always, when I can mine too, and I learned this from a lady in Lee County, Virginia, is that she told me to put a teaspoon of salt in my beans and then put my beans in my water. And really you don't have to salt them anymore if you do it like that, instead of trying to salt them once the beans are like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in there. And I'll go ahead and put them on. In this, if you want meat in it, you can put fat back, which is what I like, but I just brought some oil today. Bacon, some people use as bacon. I just use what you usually like and make your green beans. Now, I'm gonna get these heated up, and then...
That's the back one right here, you'll put it on the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll get that started and get them done.
Might have it on too high, so what you need
We'll
to do.
wait. Yeah, we'll be all right when it starts, because I may take that. Some people, they call it pot liquor, will keep their pot liquor in. I wasn't raised like that. Usually they boil that down, but pot liquor is really good too to put over your cornbread if that's what you want. And I think a lot of people does that. And my grandma, my daddy's mother, she would take the liquid and make up like a gravy, like you was making gravy, flour, and she'd put onions in that. And then she'd put the pot liquor and make it, and when you got it thick enough, you put your green beans back in there and put your little bit of vinegar in it, and that's really good too. That's a good meal within itself. And when whatever, some people call them pinto beans, we call them soup beans where I come from. When my daddy's mother would fix them, she always fed you celery and put vinegar in her beans for you to eat. Now it's good, but I don't know why we had to do it. But that was just her custom, that you would do that. So we'll get that done now. Okay.
Okay, so you made this earlier this morning?
Yes.
The dough?
Yes, I made this dough. I made it up about 15 till 10 before I left. And then I let it rise on the way, and then it should be ready to bake here shortly. I always try to wash my mess as I go, because I do not want to get through and have a sink full of dishes, and I think it's much easier on you if you do the washing. So if you have a sink, get you some soapy water in your sink. Even though you may have a dishwasher, there's still times you might just need to wash off. I have a dishwasher, but it seems like I do more, since it's my husband and me, it seems like I do more washing out of the sink than dishwasher. the juice from the coleslaw where you do the sugar, salt, and pepper, and that's what's really, to me, tastes good, is the juice of the coleslaw. Some people doesn't like it, but I do, so. Sometimes it's just wait and see. I don't want my chicken done too quick before we get the potatoes, the potato salad made. And I'm not one that can cut a chicken up, buy a whole chicken, cut it up. I've tried that and I make a big mess out of it. I can remember growing up though, I can remember my mother chasing a hen down and wringing their neck and then plucking it. And yeah, I'm pretty old. So, it's good though. Now what we're going to do is start making our chicken at this time. And I went ahead and brought my flour mixture that I made up, and it's 2 cups. This is self-rising, but you can use plain flour. And I used about a tablespoon of salt, and about a teaspoon and a half of pepper, and I used about 3/4 of a teaspoon of mustard powder in it. I just like, we like just plain old salt and pepper. We grew up like that, and I guess you can't beat it. I've tried other ways. You can put hot pepper spices in this if you like your pepper hot. One of the things that I have discovered having grandchildren, and they don't care for whole chicken breast, or so they like the chicken strip. So what I do is I went to Walmart and I bought a 6-pack of chicken breast, and it cost me about $11 and something. And these are, and what I do is when I got it home, I just did this. This is a whole, and this is real fat here, and this is lean here. So what I do, I just cut it like this in 2. Just put your hand up here, make sure your knife is sharp, and just watch to make sure. And then I just completely cut it like that, and then I just slice it like this. I do soak my chicken in buttermilk. I think it maybe tenderizes it a little bit. I'm not for sure if it really does or not, or if that's just in my head, but that's the way I do it. So I did this, and then I'll kindly just, I don't actually rinse my buttermilk off of my chicken. I just kindly drain it like this. And there's one thing, I like to put my flour in a bag. Used to, they put them in, I can remember my mother and my grandma putting them in paper bags and shaking the chicken up. You don't really find paper bags anymore. So I take this plastic bag right here and I'll shake it. I'll put my chicken in there, just shake it off. And do it like that. And then you can just throw the plastic bag away when you get through with it. My grandchildren likes the fried chicken strips. And if you're on a budget, this is a good way to expand or to have more chicken, I think. Because a lot of times your grandkids may only eat 1 or 2, or your kids, but it seems like it gives you more chicken this way, and it's not wasted. And if you have any left over the next day, then you can make a salad and cut the strips up and put that, just make you a chicken salad like that. So it's very useful. You can make this chicken sandwich if you want to. So what we're going to do now, I heat my oil up to 375, and then I put my chicken in here and I just mix it all around to get it coated. I just start like that. And usually you either fry it 4 to 6 minutes, maybe on each side, or till, now I'm one that I like my chicken done, and if I eat fish, I like it done too. I don't like to bite into chicken and it raw. So I guess sometimes I may overcook mine just a little bit. And I'm making a mess right now, but I'll clean it up. So this meal, you could say, was around $6, $6.50, counting your flour. Now I'm getting ready to put the rolls in the oven, and I bake them at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. And that's going to depend on your oven. And of course you put the butter over your rolls. Okay, here we go. Okay, now let me show you on the potatoes. I like for them, if I can stick the edge of a knife in and they're soft and tender, then to me that they're ready, what I want. And I'll drain them. Now, let me get a Now this is where I do something different than a lot of people. I do not use eggs in my potato salad. I'm not an egg person, and I never was. Oh, if you want to, I'm just coming over here. So what I'm going to do, I don't some saute their onions, their celery, and peppers. I don't do that. I leave mine down because I like a crunch in my potato salad, and this is different from what my mother did. But I like that crunch. Some people put sweet pickles in there, some put dill. I prefer to have dill in mine. Or you can do a mixture and please everybody if you want to. This is the secret right here. Just put your hot potatoes over your thing. Put my butter. I like a lot of butter. I'm like Paula Deen. The more butter you have, the better you are. I think it gives it a better flavor. So I put some of this butter in the on the bread, but this will do it. And I also like to salt my potatoes before. I don't like to get them cold and try to salt them because I don't think they salt well like that. Well, about 2 teaspoons. That's about 2 teaspoons. Usually cooks in this area or territory, it's a pinch here and a pinch there. It's how we do it. And it's how you see it and how you like it. Like I said, some people have salt problems. Okay, and I'm going to mix that up and see that those potatoes are still hot, so I didn't saute them, but they may soften up a little bit. So let me wash my hands now. This is the next thing. I always put mayonnaise and mustard in mine, and I put more mayonnaise than I do mustard. Some people just does the mayonnaise by themselves, but I think it has a better flavor if you do both of them. There's that. And there's that. And mustard is whatever you like. So what I do right here, I don't know, I just eye it. And then I just kind of put that in there, and that's it. And then I'll kind of mix this together before. And if you want to put eggs in it, that's fine. You can put eggs in it, or whatever you like. You know, each little section of territory has their own way of making their potato salad. It needs, and always, this just for show, nothing else. It don't provide any taste or flavor to it. And that's that. Be crunchy. So we'll let this fry for a few minutes on this side, and then we'll get this out and put some more in. I made this last night. This is a white coconut cake, and this was my mother's recipe that I made. And the icing is very easy to make, but one thing about you, I always have extra icing when I make. It's a 7-minute icing, but the best thing is if you've got a bag of potato chips, you can. That's your potato chip dip, is that icing, and it's salt and sugar together, and it's really, really delicious. It'll be done. And one thing I forgot to tell you is when I make up this flour mixture, I also put cornstarch, about a half cup cornstarch in it. I think it makes it crunchier. I like to make my chicken in an electric fryer because it's got the temperature, it regulates the temperature, and so 375, it pretty well stays that. Always unplug. You never know, you might leave it on. Okay, we've got the rolls to go and we're ready to eat. I believe they are, don't you? I can't.
This is delicious, Ann.
Well, thank you.
She's made us a full meal here. Homemade yeast rolls, chicken strips, green beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. And it's absolutely excellent. So Ann's wanting to start doing some stuff on what, your Facebook channel maybe, or your Facebook?
At least start out on Facebook.
Okay. Well, would you like for people to follow you on your Facebook?
Yeah.
It's Ann Baker. How you got it listed? We'll put the link in the bottom.
Okay.
You can send me the link, and then we'll put it in the description. And then you can follow her and leave her a comment. Let her know this is the first time she's done a video cooking, and she's done an excellent job telling stories and talking and cooking. And so I'll put a link to her Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you can follow her on Facebook, and then maybe she'll make a video for long. If not, she'll definitely be coming back here to cook again. So we're going to say goodbye for now. Make sure to subscribe to the Appalachian channel, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Bye-bye.